One of the most disgusting, horrific things I've seen, and I can't get that image out of my mind. It's seared in my mind.
Well, thank you for saying what you just said. Very clear. What has been truly shocking to me, not just the murder itself, which was obviously just horrific, as was the video. And I agree, it's very hard to ever lose that image of what happened. But the reaction from young people in particular on the left, I have to say, I have found absolutely sickening. The glee, the celebration, the TikToks, the general, the behavior of this rap band, Bob Villain, and then the lying about the fact they were clearly celebrating in the most despicable manner what had happened to Charlie Kirk. You know, I've got no problem with people appraising Charlie Kirk's record and criticizing him where they feel he was wrong about stuff. That's fine. That happens to every public figure when they die. But to gleefully celebrate the cold-blooded execution of a 31-year-old father of two, I just found crossed every line of humanity. And I guess, Anna, you know, a lot of these young people, you've met a lot of these young people on the left. What is going on with young people on the left? And I'm not just saying, I'm not for a moment saying there aren't young people on the right that have similar mindsets about their opponents. But what is going on with these young people on the woke left who genuinely look at that and think this is something to celebrate?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome. We begin with some breaking news. Woke is dead.
Well, I'm going to answer the question, but let me just note that there are different factions on the left. And I think the way that this is kind of being discussed in a way that just kind of generalizes everyone on the left is kind of unfair. But putting that aside, I do think that we have an overall problem. I think what happened is a symptom of a bigger issue that we have, not just in this country, but I'm seeing it happen globally, where there's just this dehumanization of people based on their political views. And on top of that, the devaluing of human life, right? I mean, we've been seeing images of people being butchered, children being butchered endlessly on social
You say Suit Man crying? Is he?
media.
The Jack guy? Jack Pasabic? Is that his name? Pachabik?
Over the last nearly 2 years.
He does look like he's crying. Hey, get it together, Jack.
Prior to that, I mean, the rhetoric
Okay, he wasn't crying.
that devalues human life, I think, has played a role into it. But also, I just think that there's this dumb idea that all you need to do is, like, get rid of or take out some of the prominent figures on the political side of the aisle that you disagree with, and that'll somehow solve the issue. No, that doesn't solve the issue. What it does is it makes the situation in various countries where this type of political violence plays out far worse. Now you're hearing talk of retaliation in a violent way. When it comes to the Trump administration, you're hearing, policies that are being proposed that would limit the legitimate political speech of
Wrap it up, Toots!
of Americans. I am concerned about that. What that disgusting murderer did is he pushed for this country to devolve further. And I wish that cooler heads would prevail, but at the same time, I don't begrudge people who are angry. I mean, that poor wife and
Oh my gosh, so many words.
her 2 children witnessed Charlie Kirk get shot and killed in the neck. I don't begrudge her at all for being
Killed in the neck?
furious. I can't even imagine where my headspace would be at right now if that happened to my husband.
Imagine how many more sounds would have to come out of your mouth.
Right. Andrew.
Right. No one cares. Right. Isn't that just how it is? Well, thanks. Everyone's like, well, thank God that's over. Anyway, so, Andrew.
Wilson, where were you when you heard about Charlie Kirk, and what is your view of the fallout from this?
Yeah, I was sitting with my wife watching TV. So the thing is I remember this picture circulating around of Charlie Kirk. He was debating the incoming president of the Oxford Union. And they were all smiles and handshakes. And, by the next day, this guy was saying the most insane rhetoric about how he basically had it coming. So how many of these leftists have murderous intent? When we show up to have a conversation.
I didn't know Charlie Kirk debated the Predator.
With them, we show up to debate our views.
Dude, put on some clothes. You're in like Oxford. What are you doing? You're in your pajamas, bro? What, they rip you off a bus? Get it together, people. Unbelievable, man.
We show up to in some way engage with them. How many of them have seething murderous intent behind their eyes, and they don't really want to do any of that? They really want you dead. And that is the biggest demonstration of that, by the way, in that one single picture. You have Anna Kasparian here, and she's talking about this. The Young Turks called Charlie Kirk a fascist how many times? The Young Turks played into this rhetoric how much? They went out of their way to do so. Ruben recently called him out for doing it. So
I just called him a fascist.
Hang on.
I've literally never. I don't even call Trump a
once.
fascist.
I didn't interrupt you once, lady.
Shut up, lady.
But you can't make things up
Shut up and let him talk.
about what I've said about Charlie Kirk.
You can talk when I'm done talking, like I was respectful enough to let you do. So the thing is like, yes, they do. This network does do that, and these leftists do that. And they set all the rhetoric up in the world to make sure something like this happened, and they were dancing on the grave of this guy before he was even cold. I have tweets from Destiny which are insane. The leftists have gone off the reservation. And it's time for us to stop pretending that it's not their rhetoric which is leading to these types of assassinations, because it is. I don't want to hear about factions. All of you guys are doing this. All of you guys have the same type of rhetoric which leads to this, or the networks you work for do.
Well, Anna, let me let you respond to that before I bring Cornell
I've
in.
never called him. I have never called Charlie Kirk a fascist, number one. In fact, if anything, we have received a tremendous amount. I don't remember Trump. I don't remember Cenk calling Charlie Kirk a fascist. In fact, Cenk and I got into a debate about whether or not. Hold on. I don't remember Cenk calling Charlie Kirk a fascist. He called Trump a fascist, and he and I got into a debate about that. But
I hope when they shift over to this guy on the right, he looks like some sort of Q-tip. I hope he sings, the Crow song from Dumbo? I just want him to sing that song. I've seen about everything when I see an elephant fly.
Lump in.
I think that would be appropriate.
And everyone on the left together. I don't agree with.
I think I'm just going to start talking like a black guy, honestly. From now on, I'm just going to do reviews just like this. Yeah. All right, let's get it going here.
Destiny on anything these days. Destiny is totally unhinged in his rhetoric, 100%. I have been critical of Charlie Kirk's political views, but going around referring to people as Nazis, turning the temperature up, I did not engage in that. So I just want you to at least be fair about what I've actually said.
Oh, gosh, your voice is horrific. It's like bad enough when you and I as men, our register goes high when we get a little bit impassioned or whatever. I hate it. I hate when that happens to me. But it's going to happen. But when a woman does, it's like 10 times worse. It's just like,
There's no actual reason for us to believe leftists at this point. It's very clear that while they come out with a handshake and wanting to have these conversations, they claim, right? In reality, what they're doing is they have murderous intent, and they'll celebrate you the day that you die. The next day, they'll go after your wife. Thousands of social media accounts going after her wife, or this guy's wife, after she made a speech about her poor husband.
Oh, Andrew just admitted Charlie Kirk was... No, I'm not going to go there. Sorry, too soon.
Yes, it is your side that's doing that. Like it or not, it's your side that's doing that.
Oh, mic clipping? Oh, sorry about that. I did scream really loud. You know what? Let me see if I can put a I'll put a limiter.
There's
on
no
it.
equivalency
I'm not a
between the right and the
leftist.
left
Sorry
on
about
this. Yeah, okay, fine. You're not a leftist. I'm sorry. Are you on the left wing? Are you a Democrat? Are you more of a Democrat than you are a Republican? Do you move towards those types of
I'm
issues?
not a Democrat. I
Are
actually
you
registered
constantly-
as an
Yeah, okay.
independent.
Oh my
Fine.
gosh,
You
I'm so
register as an
independent.
independent.
Come on, you gotta at
independent.
least know what my views
Not a
are if you're gonna
leftist.
attack me.
I'm
All right,
fine.
let me bring in. All right,
so
let
what
me
are your
bring in.
views on
I've been
Trump?
By the way, independent is such a weak position. Just stop it. Don't do that. It's so, at this point in time, saying you're independent is actually maybe worse because you don't even have a stance. At least I can not respect, but like I can engage with someone who is, who at least takes the position they're a leftist. You know what I mean? This independent stuff, all you middle people, you're the worst. You're the worst.
Attacked
Trump
by
a
the left over
totalitarian
the last
dictator?
3 years.
All right, let me bring in.
No.
Look.
I've been attacked by the left. No, let me just at least
All right.
address that. I've been attacked viciously by leftists over the last 3 years because of the fact that I want to engage in this type of dialogue, because of the fact I was willing to sit down with Charlie Kirk and with Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro. I'm willing to have conversations, and I don't go around labeling people as fascist and racist and Nazis just because I disagree with them.
Just
so
the
just
organization you work for
at
does?
least understand
Just the
what my
organization you
political
work
views
for
are.
does?
Listen, I'm not going to be blamed for what
Listen, what?
everyone in that company has to say. Anyone in that company has to say.
The
I'm
head
an
of that
individual.
company?
We're
The thing is, it's not even blame. It's just responsibility. I don't know why these people think, like, you could take responsibility for something and you could not take the blame. Responsibility is an active process. Responsibility would be like stepping in and saying what's the case and where you stand in the matter. These people are so defensive. Anything but responsibilities. Constantly. Victim, avoiding responsibility. That's the entire culture of progressivism. That's the entire culture of leftism, is avoiding responsibility.
You're supposed
The
to
head of
judge
that
people
company, your
based
co-host?
on
Come on.
individuals. He did
I
not
am
go
judging you.
around
I'm
calling
judging,
Charlie Kirk
I'm judging
a fascist
you
and a
and
Nazi.
saying that you don't have good reasoning skills. If it's the case that you think, oh my
Well,
God,
I'm judging
you can't be
for
calling
being
people
so
Nazis. You
simple-minded
can't be
that
calling
you're
people
no,
Nazis while
no
your
one's
boss
calling you a
does all the
Nazi.
time.
Why are you making that up? You're just making
Because
it
your-
up. You're just
No,
making it
your
up.
boss-
We're
your
all
boss
the
has
same.
many
That's how
times. Your boss
simple-minded
has
you
many
are.
times.
You're all
It's not
the same.
simple-minded
Okay,
to
then
point out
everyone
the
on the
truth.
right is just like Dylan Roof.
All right, let me.
Simple-minded that
Let
is.
me
work
bring in.
for a
I want to
company
bring in
headed by
Cornell
Dylan
West. I want to bring in Cornell
Shut up.
West. I want to bring in Cornell. He's
Shut
been
up.
waiting-
Shut up.
Shut up.
Please, let Cornell come in now. He's been waiting very patiently.
Oh, yeah, time for me to sing. That's right. Here we go. Ba-doo-bop-ba-doo-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-dee. I seen an elephant fly.
Cornell, welcome back to Uncensored, where things are getting incendiary quite quickly. I think the overriding point I would make about the debate we've just been hearing.
Let's get to something more very important here. Ian Carroll, $5, just says, "Sup, JB? Wanted to share I joined my church choir and sung my first liturgy yesterday." That's amazing, dude. For the elevation of the cross, that is amazing. Found out I'm a tenor. Oh, you're with me. So you're telling me there's a chance. Even MadeByJimbob has been elbowing me. Hey, you could be up there. Scary though. Mess everything up. You know? That's my fear. My fear is being up there with such a responsibility, and then my voice cracks like inspiring philosophy, and then everyone leaves and deconverts.
Between Andrew and Anna, is that there is little doubt to me that the constant rhetoric on the left, the woke left, let me be specific to where I think a lot of the blame lies, ever since Donald Trump came into power in 2016, has been this relentless use of the phrases Hitler, Nazis, fascists about Trump and about Trump supporters. And the problem with constantly saying this as a group, as the woke left have done for 9 years now, is that eventually it permeates down to young impressionable minds who genuinely believe that it is their mission to stop America from being taken over by the new Nazis or the
Yes, they believe this. They're coded to believe this in college from these talking heads like Anna and her boss and all the rest. Even this guy, even this fuzzy-haired, this guy still rocking his afro. It's all about framing. And so then you go, okay, do people act consistent with how the world occurs to them? Think about this statement. People act based on how the world occurs to them. They're not a victim of it, right? Some people might be a victim. They might be lied. They might be too young, taken advantage of. Sure, there's always that. But just descriptively, it's the case that people act and react how the world occurs to them. And if the world occurs to you and you believe it, and it's taught to you that the world occurs to you as if there is this looming, scary fascism from the white people, the Christians, big scary men. If that occurs to you, you act consistent with that, right? That's the argument. It's not a cause. It's not like this caused that. It's that it's related. It's correlative. And it's correlative enough to point out and to fight against it.
New fascist or the new Hitler. And that leads to the kind of thing we saw with Charlie Kirk. Do you agree that this language, this relentless, in my view,
Well, so glad you asked. Boo-ba-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-bow.
woeful misuse, particularly of the word Nazi, towards Trump and his supporters, this is part of the problem.
Skibbity-bop.
Well, I think part of the deeper problem, though, Brother Pierce, is that the organized greed and weaponized hatred and routinized indifference toward the vulnerable has come together in such a way
Oh, gosh. Do I need to play the violin music for you, too?
that it has eroded the sources of character formation, so that integrity, honesty, decency, and self-critical sensibilities of individuals and groups is more and more disappearing. So you end up with because hatred itself is promiscuous.
Sorry, Mr. West, it's time for your bath. Time for your what? Your cloth bath. Time for your, what do they call them? What do they call them? And you just scrub them down with a little brush. Jello time. It's Jello time.
Just like greed, just like indifference toward the suffering of others. It's promiscuous. It will lie with the left, right, center. It lies with Christians. It lies with Muslims. It lies with Jews. It lies with Buddhists. It lies with Hindus. And human beings were so wretched in the first place. If we don't undergo some kind of spiritual and moral cultivation.
Wait a second. Is he doing, what is he? Doing Calvinism now? What the hell is this guy talking about, bro?
We end up falling back on greed and hatred and indifference. And I mean, the American empire at this moment.
They should have had Robert Downey Jr. come in. Yeah, they should do this, honestly. Pierce Morgan should do this. He should have Robert Downey Jr. come in as Colonel West and just run the game. Let's do it.
Is one in which the lethal combination of the hatred and the greed and the indifference generates very much the exchange that we just saw.
Oh, gosh.
You see, this brother right here says, well, all leftists want to see me dead. Well, I'm a leftist. I don't want to see you dead. I'm a Christian.
You called Trump.
Oh, you're a Christian now? Was this guy always a... What? Come on, no. What? JB Peltier, $5 gets me almost halfway to the second goal, y'all. If you like what you're watching, you like the commentary, if you giggled a little bit, pay your Jortlandian tax, would you? Don't be a scumbag. The vulnerable equals POC, the only people who even have claims to care about. That's right, the vulnerable. The disenfranchised. The disenfranchised.
They call Trump's administration a neo-fascist movement, you lunatic. You people
yes,
have
indeed.
gone out
You're
of your way.
absolutely right.
You have gone out of your way.
Let me make the
to
case.
do everything.
Let me spit my verse, son. Fuel my fire, $5. Colonel West doing his Colonel best not to make Colonel mess in his Colonel dress pants. Tony. Nice. Nice, Tony. I figured that sounded like Tony when you said it, actually.
Let me
Possible to
make the
cultivate
case.
this.
Let me make the case.
Oh, yeah,
Will
you
you
just
allow
made
me to
your
speak,
case.
brother?
You
Come
just
on, man.
made your
Come on.
case.
No. You haven't made the case. If you think I've made the case, then you're not interested in dialogue.
You just said this brother
different
over
than
here
Charlie.
said
You
this.
very.
Look, Andrew so skillfully pulled him into what he just criticized Andrew and Anna for doing, right? So easy. Just pulled them right in. All he had to do was provoke him just a little bit and call him out on something, and suddenly, Mr. Christian, we got to make everybody feel good. We got to give them all, get the hatred out. We're going to hold the hands at the convention. We got to take you to slam poetry, man. You got to help me out, yo. So easily. He's just immediately pointing at Andrew, yelling at him. Dude. So full of shit. You're so full of it.
Very
called
different
him
than Brother Charlie, man.
neo-fascist. That's
You're
what you
very
called
different
him,
than Charlie, though, man.
neo-fascist.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I can
it's
make
your
the
rhetoric
case
due
for
to
that,
people
too.
like you that got that man killed, sir.
No.
Yes,
There
yes,
are
yes.
such a thing as neo-fascists. But Pierce, why you have a brother on who's not going to allow nobody to speak, man?
Oh, cry harder. Average redhead $5. He doesn't want you dead. He just wants you to meet
You're
God.
wasting time. If all you're interested in is making your money, and you bring this brother on it, and nobody can say a word, and we can't even
Oh, gosh.
mourn Brother Charlie passing. I had dialogues with Brother Charlie. This brother's going to say, oh, this kumbaya and so forth. No. Charlie was made in the image of a loving and mighty God. I believe that. I say my prayers for Sister Erica and the kids because this brother wants to trash my Christian sensibility. And look at him laughing now. It's a joke, man. Pierce, it's not worth it. The dialogue.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, really? Really?
Kurt part of the neo-fascist movement?
Not with this brother.
Is he part of your
Listen,
neo-fascist
movement? Not with this brother.
Yeah.
Rage quit.
Run
Charlie
away. Run away.
himself
Run away.
says that he is against Civil Rights Act. Does that?
Yeah. I'm curious to what Wes Watson would say in this dark-skinned man. He would actually agree with him because it's against Andrew. Man, that mother! Now look at him! Tits!
That make him a proponent of Jim Crow when he calls Martin Luther King Jr. an awful human
There it
being
is.
and a
There it
scumbag?
is.
I'm critical
There
of
it
that.
is.
I am critical of that. You're absolutely right, Brother Wilson. You're absolutely right. But
There
if
it
all
is.
you're going to do is be arrogant, you're arrogant just like the.
That's a clip. That's a clip. You're absolutely right, Brother Wilson. You guys got it over there. Who, Mr. E? That's it. You got to grab that. You need that. You got to intertwine that as a Stream Deck asset. You're absolutely. He said it. You're absolutely right, Brother Wilson. I mean, you can't get a better clip than that.
The so-called leftists you're talking about. But Pierce, you making your money, brother. Go on.
Oh, now he's accusing him of just using him to make his money. Oh, he mad about the money, brother. Now it's coming out. Now it's coming. Look, Andrew doesn't even have to work to do this. He just has to call him out on a couple things, and then he just loses it. And then everything becomes very transparent immediately. The shield drops, the facade drops, the veneer of, oh, I'm a loving poetry slam loving Christian, and I'm just we gotta get them together right now, like the Beatles. And then you just go, yeah, but what about this? And he's like, ah! He just loses it. He starts blaming Pierce Morgan for making money on a show. It's literally his job.
To make your money, man.
It's all
But
about
this is
making.
not worth it.
Cornell,
This brother
it's all
right
about
here
making
is
money.
part of the problem. This other brother who has a deep connection to Charlie, he's willing to at least listen. But this brother's not.
Oh, he's trying to separate them too now. This is a standard tactic. He's going to fluff out Jack here to separate him from Andrew, Brother Wilson. He's a good white boy. That other guy in the suit, he's a real good white boy who's not making any money on anything. He not like the other mean Mr. Wilson, Meanie Pants Wilson. He a good one. I want to talk to him tonight. I want to talk to the nice one.
Not willing to
Cornell,
listen,
can
so
you
it's a waste
sit
of
down?
time. I'm gone, man.
I would like you
Bruh.
to remain part of the debate.
This is
I
ridiculous.
need my
This is ridiculous. He's smoking his cigarettes with his arrogant self. Come on, man.
Oh, stop.
We don't have enough dialogue at all.
Surely you're not going to walk
Why
out
don't
in
you
a
cry?
debate
Why
about
don't you cry
dialogue.
more?
Go on and make your money, man.
Right.
Ooh.
Well, there's a,
Oh, man. Bro. That was embarrassing. I didn't know it was that good.
kind of farcical to quit a debate where we're literally debating about the importance of free speech and being able to listen to each other's opinions, which seems to me completely insane. Anyway, we've lost Cornel West for now. Maybe we'll get him back. Well, Andrew,
Look at you smoking that cigarette. I'm gonna smoke my cigarette after the live stream when I'm playing chess in the park, talking to pigeons.
Andrew Wilson referred to Destiny's insane tweets a little earlier, which were disavowed by Anna Kasparian. Well, Destiny joins us now.
Oh, surprise guest. Look, he has a little... Thanks for having me.
Destiny, you've
That's a pretty good swap out right there. You couldn't even pay for that.
been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags a half-mast in memory of Charlie.
Dude, that's like, look, 4 million likes on that post. 4 million people like that. 4 million. I don't care. I don't care if we're at 380 million citizens. 4 million people liking that is too many for me.
Charlie, you posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every Conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years.
What? You guys murder someone in cold blood, but it's us who we have to turn the temperature down.
Years into whatever
This fucking guy.
this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time.
What? These people should be deported. I'll take immigrants over this guy. I don't care if you give me an L in the chat. I will take an immigrant over this guy. I'll take a Somalian taxi driver over this guy. Swap, even trade. 1-to-1.
Time he's in office.
If you didn't want an assassination, you shouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. I suck dicks.
This happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family.
Yeah, he was raised. That's past tense. Past tense.
22-year-old
A guy
white
described-
dude. He wasn't
no, Destiny.
trans. He
No,
didn't have
Destiny.
a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans
Right.
influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry. You
Well,
guys were wrong on all of that.
To be clear, the governor of Utah spent
What's a trans bullet? Is a trans bullet even work? What's a trans bullet? Is a trans bullet is just facing the other direction.
Mr. Cox has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this.
Let him dig.
That's just
I'm sorry. Excuse me. When?
yesterday he said that. the
No,
governor.
no. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college? Not
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know.
What you just said
I do
is not
know
true.
the very
No, that's not
reasonable
true.
sounding governor of Utah has made
no,
it
it's
clear
not true.
that the
no, he hasn't made it
you may
clear.
not want
he
to
said
hear
this is
this.
an ongoing investigation.
You may not want to
you
hear
don't
it,
wanna
Destiny,
Piers.
but the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just
that's
ask you.
just not true.
Let me just
There's
ask
no
you.
way to deal with it.
Okay,
You're living in a
accusing the
delusional
governor of
fantasy.
lying.
Yeah.
That's your.
That's insane. Like, first of all, they're not responding. Maybe someone will cut in here, but just go back to what he just said. He just said, if you guys didn't want Charlie Kirk to be assassinated in cold blood in front of millions of people, you shouldn't have Donald Trump elected. That's what he said.
Prerogative.
So if you don't want to be assassinated, you don't want people assassinated, don't vote for people that you like. Okay. Great job, Destiny.
But
Sure.
if it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
See, he's holding morality hostage. What a scumbag. What a little goblin scumbag. What a vacant body this man is. So ugly too. He has wheelchair head. I'm sorry, he has wheelchair head. So he's going, well, I'm not gonna stand on my moral convictions about anything until, right? This is no different than saying, I'll do this as long as you affirm my delusional gender. I'll do this. It's just constant manipulation, constant emotional hostage taking. That's all these people know how to do. It's disgusting. And honestly, if the only thing you could do is gaslight people and hold people hostage, honestly, if that's all you have, I'm not surprised that they go to violence quicker, because that's all they have. So the only thing that would actually make a difference in their world is violence. They have nothing else. They can't build. They have no moral foundation. They have no duties for family. They have no duties for motherhood. They have no duties to any other person in their society but themselves. They got nothing. If you don't have any of those things in your worldview, in your practice, right? If you're broken, all you have, as Seraphin Rose said, is revolution. That's all you got. Revolution. And guess what? Revolution is nothing without violence. So it makes total sense. We're at the tipping point, the brokenness of liberalism. And that includes classical liberalism. Okay? So that includes Charlie Kirk and company, by the way. They've been a part of it. Charlie Kirk, I know you like to, we're in mourning and everything's horrific and all that. But the reality is that even Charlie Kirk defended the poison that eventually killed him. He did. There's a part of that defense, that whole schema there, that whole system, that is still in defense of cancerous nodes, cancerous philosophies. And he thought if you debate hard enough, which is still doubling down on liberalism, then you could fix it. Well, yeah, you can fix some minds. And of course you can't fix all, but you have no society without force. You have no society. So this constant avoidance of like the use of force is ultimately to our detriment.
Don't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why
tell
would you
his
expect
side
anybody,
to calm down?
Destiny?
You can't.
Calm down. Just calm down. Just take a bath. Take a bath. Read a book for yourself. Just calm down. Take a bath. Read a book for yourself. Just gaslighting. More gaslighting. Just calm down. We only witnessed one of the most brutal things we've seen in a long time live on television in front of everybody. Just calm down, take a bath, get yourself some deep fried Oreos. David James Flood, $5, says, their throats are open graves, their tongues practice deceit, the poison of vipers is on their lips, Romans 3:13. Yeah.
And answer that. Can you answer that question? Why
Okay,
can't
can
Trump
you
go on
answer
TV
this
and say,
question?
all of us should be less violent?
Why do you
can't
think?
Trump say that?
Why do you
Why is
think?
your
Trump say that?
behavior
I feel
contingent
like
on Donald
I'm
Trump?
insane right now.
Why do you
is
think?
your
No, let me
behavior
ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me
Why
ask
is
a
our- Because
question.
he's the president of the United States.
The President of the United States, that's what determines whether or not I take a stance. I need him to take a stance first. I need him to take a stance. I'm waiting for Donald Trump to take a stance, and then I'll tell you my moral stance. That's how it works. He's the President of the United States. Destiny, people like him won't last in a public sphere. We have to weather the storm of anti-truth, ilk, pure spiritual void. These people, it's a pure spiritual void. Pure spiritual void. It's insane. The fact that he opened with, I will tell you something's wrong, but I just need Donald Trump to say something first. Weird. Talk about a daddy issue. Oh my goodness. If you make fun of Trump tards, right? That's their daddy. There's nothing more daddy-ish than that.
States of America and the leader of the opposing political party.
Destiny. Let me
You
just.
have a huge audience of young men who
I'm a
listen to
YouTuber.
everything you have to say.
I'm a YouTuber.
Has more
So
young
when
men following
it
him.
doesn't matter.
Who
You
has
have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience.
What a baby. What an absolute baby.
And because
This
of
is
the fact that
world
you have a
I'm
huge
living in,
audience,
and
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility
broken by
to
online
not
rhetoric.
turn. No,
And
it
your
hasn't.
brain
It
has
hasn't been
been
broken. I
destroyed
actually care
because
about the
people
country
bully you on
and want to
Twitter.
bring people together.
If
You
you've
do
been-
the
you should tell
opposite.
Donald
You
Trump to
represent
tell
the
people-
worst
Fuckering fuckajam.
of us,
be
Destiny.
less
You're
violent.
embarrassing.
You should tell
You're
Donald-
embarrassing.
All right, let me ask.
Time released morality. Yeah, my morality's on a timer.
Watch how
Destiny,
easy
a
this is.
question.
Watch how easy this
No,
is.
hang-
My morality is like a safe. I need the right code to open it for it to come
Go-
out.
don't-
If
all
Trump
shout
would've
at
come out
once,
and said-
please.
If Donald Trump would have come out
Destiny,
and said, hey, we should all be less violent,
Destiny,
I have no problem saying
I have one
absolutely.
question for you,
Why can't
Destiny.
Andrew, love it. Love it. Don't need to say a damn thing. Don't need to say a fucking thing. Just let him bury himself. Let him bury himself. I'll just enjoy my cigarette.
Conservatives do that? Why can't conservatives do that?
Destiny, I have a question for you. Why do you think, in your campaign for everyone to dial down the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
when she posts an image of her at
Yeah.
the coffin side,
you
why do you
scumbag.
think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
Yeah.
You can't
good
turn down
question.
the temperature on your own. The
Oh, goodness. What a cope. This guy sucks. I mean, we all know he sucks, but man, does he suck harder than I thought that he sucks. What a terrible human being. Oh, we're going to turn the temperature down, so I'm going to actually provoke people in their weakest times. Can we turn the temperature down?
President of the United
You
States is
inflame the
not
temperature.
able
You're
to-
mocking
no,
his
it's
widow.
already inflamed.
You're
What are you
mocking his
talking
widow.
about? We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you
to
mock
fight
his
somebody
widow?
Online
Ever.
because
Why
she's
did you
being
mock his
wielded
widow?
as because she's being used as a political weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives
Dude, he looks like a methed out horse.
to
Like, I feel like you're supposed to feed him straw.
continue
This is that weird mouth, man.
their fight. What do you
Destiny, how did you dislocate your jaw? Oh, wait. Don't tell me.
mean? Wow, she's literally doing
Her husband
recruitment
just got
ads
murdered.
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
And
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You
The
won't condemn
president
it.
can't even tell his side.
You're
to
so
He won't do it. He won't do it.
the temperature
deranged
down.
about Trump that you
are
cannot condemn the
unhinged.
murder
It is such a
because you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit
Trump
here
to
and
say
make money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring
crazy
in
to me that
Jack.
Republicans can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
That's the second person who mentioned money. It's the weirdest thing.
in
What a
Jack
joke of the
Posobiec.
world.
I gotta
And
say,
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
Which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down,
Fine.
like Biden could, like Obama could,
Fine.
like the Clintons could, like Kamala could. Why
fine.
not?
Why can't you condemn the murder
See,
of Charlie
it's
Kirk?
unbelievable. I'm not the president.
He's just using the same question on him. Because I'm not the president. I can't say tone it down, guys, because I'm not the president. Wow. What the heck, dude? What does that even mean? I think I need to play my new song. That's what I need. He earned it. Didn't he? He definitely earned it. Where is it? Here we go.
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
Shame.
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
Shame.
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
Shame.
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
I believe you.
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
So good. It's like harkens back when that rap R&B crossover in the 90s was good. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dr. Evo, doctoring it up.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should be the one that is driving up
It
the
actually
rhetoric.
was
You
your
don't
side
know
that
it's not
caused
even
it.
true.
It
This
was
an
your
18
side.
This guy.
Imagine how broken and foul your brain and your spirit and mind should have to be to say, in order to condemn a behavior that's universally known what the behavior is with humans. Imagine thinking the only way you can condemn it if someone that thought like you did it. By his own dumb reasoning, he can't condemn his own opposition. Destiny, why can't you condemn this horrible act? Because it's not from my side. Great. You can't condemn fascism. You can't condemn anything the right wing has done. Good job, retard.
Guy was raised in a white Christian
was a
household,
radicalized
in a Christian
leftist
state.
ideology.
He wasn't radicalized by leftism at all. You have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like
investigators
one that killed
are
Melissa
saying.
Was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were
was not a
conservatives, just like the
conservative,
Proud
it was
Boys
a
were conservative.
pro-Palestinian activist
Every
out of
single one of
Harrisburg.
these. Every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec, what, the author of Unhuman, another person that Charlie supported. Good one, dude.
I'll
What? Excuse me? Did you just plug his book?
give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie
Yes, you
Kirk.
are acting like an
Why,
unhuman.
why can't I hear Donald Trump
'Cause you were against
condemn violence
humanity.
in this
All right,
country?
you
Why
won't
can't I
condemn
hear
it. Okay, we've
I
all
can't hear it.
heard.
That's insane
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to
And we've
condemn it.
heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn
Jack
it too. But for some
Posobiec.
reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's not what the argument is. You idiot.
What's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening that when people are getting killed in the country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, when they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know, all the elections are rigged. It's the radical Democrats. That's insane to me. And then the fixation is, well, who on Twitter and YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right, Jack
It appears-
Posobiec.
What?
You have
Andrew's just waiting. Just sitting there.
a great example here of the type of cancer I'm talking about, where when you present direct information, they refuse, they obfuscate, they say it's not true, they lie. You could see from the bullet casings, you could see from postings, you could see from everything out there that it's very clear what happened here. This is the same people who supported President Trump almost getting assassinated twice last year, Corey Capatore being assassinated
By
last year
conservatives.
in a situation. Again, see, just lies. That's all they do. They talk over. They don't even let you give a chance to speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated.
Look at that weird. That was his high school smile. Watch his weird demonic smile.
Again,
bro.
see, just lies. That's all they
Sick.
do. They talk over. They don't even let you give
He
a
loves
chance to
it.
speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something
loves it.
absolutely needs to be done. This
Watch his
ideology
smile.
should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have
What an actual goblin. It's hard. It's really hard. It's honestly hard to hold. My biggest weakness, and I have a lot, but one of my weaknesses is that I'm often taunted into believing that not all humans are made in God's image. I am, honestly. That's something I need to basically confess for, because it comes up a decent amount of times. enough amount of times where I think that thought comes in to my mind. So
completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about are clicks and YouTube streams and likes. Go to the casket, go to the gravesite, go talk to the widow. You know, I don't even know how to discuss this with someone who's completely lost all touch with reality.
Yeah, I mean, Anna.
What's Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should all be less violent?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded execution of Charlie
Donald Trump
Kirk.
turns on Destiny.
I don't think you're in the position to
says,
demand anything from anybody
on YouTube. That's how I'm.
This is so childish. You guys who are parents realize that this is what happens when the two kids are in trouble, right? Your two kids, if it's often my girls who get along and then they fight. They get along and then they fight. And you corner them both, right? And you go, hey, what's going on? And immediately it's this. It's just it's like a child with a terrible beard. Really, just an awful beard. It's exactly the same. They go, no, but she did it, and then she did it. Why can't she do that? And you're like, this is what it's like having a child. And this is a 40-something-year-old child. And we're not talking about stolen toys or who got this first or whatever, right? We're talking about an assassination. Unbelievable. He's acting like someone stole his Legos. He was like, well, she stole first. Why did Donald Trump stole my Legos first? You sick man. God's image perhaps can be so perverted that its resemblance is almost impossible to see. Yeah, Chaw. Thank you for that super chat. It's something I definitely have to pray and contemplate about. Vocalizing it to you guys probably helps me because, dude, there's so much. I'll actually find what I think is supporting evidence. I'll actually try to make it true, which is not a good thing. So, but it's hard sometimes. You look, like when I look at Rabbi Shmuley, worse than Destiny. When I look at that guy's face, it occurs to me like that's not human. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sorry. That's how it happens. So his eyes darting around is him looking at the different demons hovering in his vicinity. Yeah, like sourcing them.
I'm going to take my.
You're
my
not in any
pointers, but
position
really?
to condemn anybody for anything. You won't
absolutely
condemn a
am, because he's the
cold-blooded
president
murder.
of the United States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic
Why Donald
humanity
Trump-
says
why
the murder
Donald Trump,
was
the president,
horrific.
Can't say
Why can't
all
you
of
say
us need
it?
to be less violent.
Why can't you
Democrats
say
have been
it,
saying
Destiny?
for over a decade.
To say the murder was
horrific
horrific and unacceptable.
Why can't Donald Trump say it?
You can't do
why
it,
does
can
someone
you?
here have any words for Donald Trump?
All right,
What do
Anarchist
you have for
Baron.
Donald Trump? Nothing exactly.
Anarchist Baron, this, to me,
I'm surprised they're not bringing Andrew in here.
this is what I'm talking about, that I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick.
He also is admitting in this way, this form of deflection and denying responsibility. He's admitting that he does have leverage. So he's trying to downplay he has leverage. It's the president of the United States. He has a way bigger Twitter account than me. I'm just testing me. Yeah, you're admitting, like the fact that you won't just go, no, we got to condemn this. This is horrific. Because he'll lose. He knows one thing. He's going to lose audience members because he has a fair amount of people. I'd like to know the percent if I could, but I don't know if it's possible. That are going to go, no, Destiny. Wrong. Like I've seen it. I've seen, who's the guy? Jesse Wells, who makes AI music. He did somewhat of a nod to the Charlie Kirk scenario, obviously condemning it through his medium. And he got a bunch of responses from some freaktards too. So you're going to lose stuff when you say, no, this is wrong. It shouldn't have happened. Don't do this. He knows. And he also knows that he has influence. So he's trying to do like a stalemate. Like, okay, if we're going to do a ceasefire, Donald Trump, you first. You first. Donald Trump, you exhibit some moral backbone, and then I will. That's how morality works for these people. It's a power trip. It's a power game. And that's also downstream from their philosophy. The whole like Marxist view, the whole view, the entirety of their philosophy, which they're raised in the public school system to believe, the cancer that it is that it's all pure power. Your power versus my power. That's it. So it makes sense. If you're in a view where it's only power, your power versus my power, then all you're doing is these constant trade-offs. You're just constantly making like war agreements. It's not actually you holding a moral conviction, regardless of the war. That's all it is. Shmuley's beard is racing as fast as it can to fuse with the unibrow. He will soon look like a Wookiee. He's such a goblin, dude. That guy, he disgusts me so deeply. Such deep disgust.
As I've just seen from Destiny. It's a
The
sick
sick thing is
mindset.
weaponizing a widow's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. She's showing up in emails for recruitment
What
drives
would
for
you
TPUSA.
expect, though, Destiny?
24
What did you
I
think
expect
the
for somebody whose
assassination
husband
of a
was just
political
killed? I
figure
would
would
say you'd
do?
probably
What did
take-
you think
you pro-
the outcome was going to be? What did you think the
what do you-
outcome was? And
hold
by
on,
the
I'm
way,
sorry, are you asking
really,
me for the pragmatic political
your
outcome,
behavior?
or are you asking
hold
me
on,
for-
let me. Hey,
You're
how
asking me a
about
question,
take it
so I
easy
didn't know
on
it
the
was rhetorical.
Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question
Okay,
that Pierce
sorry,
asked me.
you must have been really
Okay,
bullied today, I
my
guess.
behavior,
Let Anna speak, please.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior. I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death. How can you mock that? What's wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart, and at the same time, you
it's
judge
such a simple thing.
others
If you're
as being
going to
hateful.
weaponize somebody's grief against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve in whatever way she wants, but when that grief is going to be weaponized to do recruitment, political recruitment, and further radicalization of the other side.
Radicalization? Can you imagine thinking the young 20, 25-year-old Charlie Kirk fans who are in college or whatever, 17 to 23, I guess that would be, or something like that, dude, Charlie Kirk, honestly, I didn't even give this take yet, but many others have already said it, but I'll say it again, is like, if you really think about it from a tactical position, if someone wanted to demoralize a side, and there was a general right side, even if we disagree with Charlie Kirk, some of his philosophy or politics or religion, the way you demoralize is you kill the nice one. Like you kill the good one, the happy, bright-eyed golden retriever, not the menacing, rabid dog, the Doberman, right? You shoot the golden retriever in cold blood in front of everyone. You watch a golden retriever of a human die in front of everyone. That's like an act of demoralization. It's not just political terrorism. It's strategery, as George Bush would say. That's strategery. Because you go, why the nice one? Well, yeah. They'll kill the nice one. You just set the standard. That's the precedent. You kill the nice one, not even the crazy one, not even the wild one, not even the screaming one, not even the fringe one. You kill the fair one, the pleasant one that, puts a napkin on his, he definitely put like a napkin on his pants before he ate. Charlie Kirk definitely did.
Then, of course, you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
Let me understand your argument. So since others are using her grief to politically recruit, you think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others
How
are
does that make
using
any
her grief,
sense?
she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV.
Violently and viciously assassinated. We can have dialogue.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way.
Don't
Yes or no,
exclusively
Can you-
be
All right, here we go.
Yes or no?
Let me bring in.
Right.
Let me
I
bring
don't
in.
agree with him on everything, but at
Still
least we
to
can
this
have
day.
dialogue.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way.
Oh, I hate Anna's voice. Terrible.
Anna is completely right.
It sounds like every sorry, women. I love you. You know, love my wife, love all the women in my life, love my mom. But when you guys start get talky, I don't like it. Cuz it just always sounds like Sorry if your ears were just blown out. I put the limiter on my mic, so I put the limiter on. Hope that helped. Jimmy James, member for 36 months. Shout out to Jimmy James. Rabbi Shmuley is at $816 of his 500K goal. Oh, dude, that's actually sad. So if you guys want to protect Rabbi Shmuley, Jimmy James, just a loving man of his of brother Shmuley. 816, man. Yeah, if you want him protected, please add to that. He's only at 816 of the $500,000 goal. And it's to protect him. It's to protect him, okay? He needs protection now.
Probably, didn't it?
And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led
It transcended the limiter. Sorry. Should I do it far away?
the way in going in to debate with people who hated him, and he would try and have respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up on college students.
Unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let
real.
me bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson in.
I'm
So do you.
yeah.
Let me bring in
so
Andrew
do you.
Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You go on a college tour.
Charlie
You're going on a
Kirk was
college
trying to
tour
hold
right
higher
now
level
to
debates
beat
and you
up
guys
on
killed
college students. What do you?
Jack needs to learn how to butt in. I mean, he's got the demeanor of like a busboy who's like, "Can I take your plate away? Can I take? Are you guys done with this? Are you guys done with this? Or
What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second, is going on a college tour to go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
I don't
Yes or no?
excuse me, are you guys done with your wings? Are you guys? Can I take this? It's good blue cheese, isn't it? We make it in house.
We beat up on college.
Can you
What are
actually
talking about?
answer?
I debated half
Can you
the
actually
damn
answer?
What do you
Hang
mean
on,
I
calm
beat up-
down.
what do you mean I
I
beat
just
up on
got one
college
question.
students?
I got one question for you, and I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in
Then
this
just-
country has been crazy. But the reality
So
is,
then-
until
So
conservatives,
then why did you
have
say
Oh my gosh. Andrew just pulled the pull string on the doll.
to your
until
co-host
conservatives,
that
Destiny pull string doll comes in turbo manic mode.
Trump
until
deserved the bullet?
conservatives
Why'd you
have
tell him
to
that?
say, until conservatives have to say, hey, we all need to be less violent, there's no purpose in Democrats doing it, because every time Democrats disavow, you further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is coming on the left. Donald Trump can go on TV, he can say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. They can go on Parler and say, we heard you. They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, hey guys, why aren't Democrats disavowing violence? And pretend that the problem is coming from the left. Democrats do a disservice to this country by disavowing
hang
violence
on,
constantly
let me
when the
respond
president of the
quickly.
United
So
States-
many.
Let me respond.
So many words. Colin Rock, $5. I want to see Destiny on every mainstream platform possible. He is the greatest representative of the moderate left we could ever ask for. Yeah, you kind of have to choose and be like, put him up. Let everybody see what we're dealing with.
Quickly,
and say all
let
of
me
us need to
respond
be less
quickly,
violent. How
Destiny.
easy
So
could that
the
be?
thing is, why did you say to your co-host
Yeah, keep focusing
that
on me.
the
Keep
bullet
focusing on me.
that the
I'm
bullet
not here to
that
play-
the bullet was for Trump? Why did you say to your co-host
why did
that
Donald
the
Trump-
best
why did
place for the
Donald Trump
bullet
call
was Trump?
Kamala
Why did you
a
say that?
fascist? Why did Donald Trump call
It's a
everyone fascist if
whataboutism.
that's what's causing people to kill?
Whataboutism.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
asking
you're
you
doing
a
right
question.
Now. Whataboutism. The
I can't be
conversation is about
whataboutism
what I
if
said.
it's
Here's
my
the
question,
conversation is,
Destiny.
Why won't Donald Trump disavow violence in the
Answer the
United
question.
All right, why
did
don't
you
we
say
do
that?
this? Why don't we
Why
do
did you
this?
say that?
His mouth is so gross.
Why don't we do this before I cut
such an easy
mics?
question.
Because you don't care.
Destiny.
You don't care that Kirk's dead.
Megan has this really fascinating ability to isolate and observe gross mouths. It's a really interesting skill, actually. Sometimes she'll just be like, "Did you see their mouth?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did. Now that you say it." Like, he does fit the criteria of gross mouth, I think it's called. Or
Destiny, allow Andrew.
Can we get a Destiny Spurg Ghoul Goblin? Yeah, we should. We should get a Ghoul Goblin.
Allow Andrew to repeat his question and let him ask the question, then you answer it, okay? Andrew.
No, I want to hear the other side first.
Let him ask the question.
Donald Trump.
Let him ask the question, Destiny, and then you answer it. Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host, when asked point blank if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation machine. And you know what else, Destiny? Why should we believe you? I think.
Look at his darting eyes. You're so right. Who said the darting eyes? Look at those eyes. Look at those. Just look at the darting eyes. When a demon's caught, you know what I mean? It's like in Ghostbusters when it like gets trapped in the box and it's like ricocheting off the inside of the contraption.
That could have happened.
Watch his
the bullet
eyes.
Missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it. Okay, this guy's an obfuscation machine. And
his eyes.
You know what else, Destiny? Why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the truth, that you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what's true?
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening.
But if it does happen, I am be lying to say I didn't get a little bit of a little sunshine in my bloodstream. That's what they don't say. They never answer the direct question. He's like a political talker, doing politic talk. Look, I'm not for it, but when it happens, it gives me glee. I have nothing wrong with it giving me glee.
I don't know why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here.
And by the way, if you're trying to understand Andrew's perspective here and his sort of more recent campaign, the whole point, and this goes back to that first soft Christian we talked about, who's like a nobody, but you know, I wanted to review it anyway. If you see this guy, I forgot your name, disciple something, critical disciple. If you're trying to wonder what the tactic is here, and it's a really good tactic that Andrew's doing. He's doing it on TikTok, and he's doing it right now with Destiny. He's trying to get the opposition to speak clearly what they think and what they want and what makes them happy, right? And he's pretty effective at it so far. He almost got it out of Destiny right here. He didn't get exactly what he wanted, but he's getting close. And so if you're wondering, well, what is Andrew doing? What is the problem? Well, first of all, he's not advocating for any violence. It's the opposite. But what he is doing is he's cornering all these monsters. And he wants people who are giving these monsters grace, right? He's getting them to speak from their filthy mouths what they really want, what they really believe, because they're never honest, you know? So the win is that they're honest. That's one moment of truth for them. But they have to say they like it. They're glad. You know what I mean? They're glad about this stuff. So you guys know who you're dealing with. Yes. Does that mean you still pray for these people from a Christian perspective? Absolutely. Does that mean you wage a physical war on them? No. But at least get a clear idea of the game that's being played. At least get a view of your opposition in a focused photograph, if you will.
Like
Ian Carroll, $10. The man who loves but little will have but little desire for the Lord, and the man who does not love at all will neither wish or aspire to see the Lord, and will spend his life in darkness. Saint Silouan. Yeah, these people don't. I mean, the spiritual warfare, we see it. Secularism can't see it. They just see people yelling. They see people debating and talking, but you see it. You can see the spiritual element for sure. You can deny it, but denying it you'd have to deny there's any reason for this kind of debate at all then. You know what I mean? Why? If it's not a moral position, if we're not in a moral fight for what's good, and you know what I mean? If that's not what the fight is, what are we doing? Just making sounds with our mouth? One shot, $5 gets me up to 38, y'all. Goal ends in 40 minutes. That's plenty of time, but let's not take that long, shall we? Metatron posted a video the other day on Destiny sharing sound bites of Destiny saying he's okay with G-sided right-wingers. Of course, he's a liar. He's a liar. If we can just get them to say the most honest thing, if we can just get them to say one honest thing, that's enough to basically diagnose them.
In terms of temperature, the Clintons have no problem saying it. Barack Obama has no problem saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and said it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down. And
so did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did
Trump deserve the bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump
did he deserve the bullet
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump?
See, he can. He's such a demon.
Answer the question.
By the way, this is what it's going to be like tonight, debating Corinth and Wick. Same spirit energy, same demonic running away. And why am I even doing this to myself? Honestly,
Trump deserves the.
I need. At least I have some beer.
You can't answer the question. We're here to.
He asked you a question. You can't answer the question, he says. He asked you a question, demon.
No, bro, it's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer.
It's YouTube video
clips. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
That's not the question. So people who don't disavow violence deserve a bullet. Is that it? So even though Andrew is having a hard time getting this demon to actually have anything out of his mouth that's true come out, ever. He only puts things in his mouth. He's essentially getting him to say it by not saying it. So it's still a win, right? It's still a win. The tactic of him not saying it, obfuscating, dodging, deceiving. What a snake. Canadian.
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's disavowed violence.
But
again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump disavow? Wait.
Oh, he doesn't care if he's a liar. Doesn't care. His nails on a chalkboard.
When did Donald Trump
your
disavow
exact
violence in
words
this
to your
country?
co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he wanted to kill Trump, the
no
worst
way.
thing that could have happened
Donald Trump
was the
disavowed all
bullet missing.
political violence. And
that's what you said, bro.
Yeah. And this is where when you're putting
YouTubers,
YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States.
That's not what's happening. What are you talking about? By the way, they are at this point. I don't know what he's talking about. Why does he act like political influence? And I've heard this from other people, right? They're like, well, Charlie Kirk's just a YouTuber. Not really. Not really. Charlie Kirk did a lot more physical interactions with people in physical spaces than he did live streaming like a YouTuber. Did he end up having a show at the end? Yeah. But this idea that YouTube and political commentary from all sorts of different sides and media platforms, what's considered television still, that's all merged together now. So there's no more pretending that we haven't completely collapsed alternative media, dissonant media, compound media, mainstream media. All of the influence is now bundled into one soup now. So this idea of well, I'm not as big as the president. No, you're big. You're as big and influential to leftists as Donald Trump is to maybe some particular group of right-wing people. Not the whole right, but a particular group. Like full Trump-tards, for instance. There's full Trump-tards, and there's people who just kind of support Trump. And then there's people who's more on the peripheral with Trump. But this guy is coping so hard. He's such a liar. He got caught lying. And this is what it is. That's why it's not intellectual. When people reject logic and they reject a contradiction, rejecting a lie is the same thing. just like not acknowledging a lie. It's demonic. So you're not dealing with the intellect of someone anymore. You're dealing with a spiritual issue that you yourself can't heal. You can't heal it. Nothing you can say is going to heal that in Destiny, unfortunately. Richie Torres, $10. I'm sick and tired of these atheists crying memorials, so I'm going to tell you, Jimbob, that Mobb Deep's new song is awesome. Love you, bro. Thank you. Check it out. It's nails on a chalkboard. Thank you for that. Jack coming in with a couple of fivers there. Thank you. He says nothing. Appreciate you, Jack. Thanks so much for your support. Really appreciate that. All right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm glad we're witnessing this, because it being at the tail end of that guy at the beginning I critiqued, that if you guys missed the stream, go back and watch it. It's this small guy who's pretending he's a Christian, and he's calling Andrew out, right? Oh, you're not being Christian. You can't, you got to pray for these people. No. This is exactly what he should be doing. He should be taking the gifts he gave, that God gave this guy, and going into the battlefield where he belongs. And we don't all belong in the same sections of the battlefield. We have different gifts. This is exactly what he should be doing. Exposing demonic liars. People who want you dead, or at least don't care if you're dead. Okay?
This is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why it'll continue.
But
There'll be more
Destiny,
deaths.
but Destiny,
Maybe it'll be me at the next one. Who knows?
God be with you on your debate. Thank you for that. Very generous, Jack. Appreciate you.
Well, I do
Destiny,
agree you want it to continue.
Destiny.
Here comes Jack with the authority. Well, do you need more water at the table? I heard the shrimp is pretty good here. Do you need to check? You want a couple to-go boxes?
I'm going to turn around and be like, I can't.
Column Rock, did your check get missed? Let me see. Was it far back, Column Rock? Where you at, yo? Where you at, dog? I read one a while ago. Column Rock. Column Rock! Wait, that's Irish, right? Hold on a second. Column Rock. I tell Ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. That's alright till I go home. She is right and she is home. She is a fancy, she is pretty, she is a queen of Belfast City.
I can't believe it.
Destiny.
What's going on? What's happening here?
Okay,
Yeah.
Destiny, if you care so much about political violence
Please
in
won't you
America,
tell me who
why
is
don't you
she?
lead the way yourself without
can't,
mentioning
because
anybody
one
else?
side-
Why don't
because
you?
one side-
Why don't you, Destiny?
Column Rock says, I want to see Destiny on every mainstream platform as possible, the greatest representative. Yes, I read that, sir. Unless you didn't know. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, but I did read that.
Right now, just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Because we've been doing that for a decade.
Because I can't do it right now, because I'm a freaking snake, dude. You're a snake. You sick boy. Ian Carroll, $9.99. Oh, I already did that. Thank you for that. All right. We're all caught up.
One side can't turn down the temperature.
You can't do
side
it.
can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't, then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it. Okay.
Unbelievable.
You don't want to do it.
So we're going to hold the temperature at a boiling point. Holy cow! That is a big super chat! Thank you for that, Vagine. Says nothing.
Accountability for their actions. They need some responsibility for the insanity.
He had it coming,
Even though you
Total absence of manhood right there.
Satan on yourself. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec.
We absolutely.
All right, that's enough, Destiny. I'll bring in Jack Posobiec.
Bring in Jack Posobiec because he can't butt it himself.
Jack.
Jack, come on, man. You got to get more aggressive, buddy.
Okay. Nice. Both sides it.
Jack.
Yeah.
What is your response to this?
Jack is probably still, I mean, to be fair, I think he was closer with Charlie Kirk than anybody, obviously, on the panel right here. So he's probably still in a terrible place, honestly. Prayers for Jack. I hate to make fun of him for not being aggressive. He's probably just dead inside at this point, and I don't mean that in an insult. I mean probably nihilistic, sad, heartbroken. His pupils are so severely dilated. He's a weird demon goblin, Destiny is. He's really gross. He really is a perfect embodiment of like if there needs to be an egregore, like a culmination, the acquiescence of filth and disgust and sin and depravity all in one person. Couldn't think of a better person. Jason McGinney, $5. Doesn't he believe that the things he's saying, he obfuscates so much I have trouble. We don't even know what they like, other than just being oppositional to anything good and true. I don't know what it is they stand for.
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology where
Jessica, I think you meant you could tell he's not doing well. Yeah, you could tell he's broken. So prayers for Jack and his family. You know, the closer you are to someone who gets brutally massacred, as you saw Alex Stein, who is fairly associated to Charlie Kirk, really just wore it on his sleeve there. So shout out to Alex Stein as well. It's pretty brutal. Now that I mentioned before, if you guys are a truther, still got your truther hats on, and you're like, well, it's probably not real. He's in an island somewhere. The real Charlie Kirk's on an island. Well, fine. That could be the case if, that's pretty wild. A lot of things have to be true for that to be true. But if it's not true, just know that you're avoiding experiencing directly the brutality of the situation. You know what I mean? The evil of the situation. And so, you got to consider that for my listeners who are like, no, everything's fake. Everything's scripted. Everything's fake. Yeah, I know the feeling. But just know that, like, if it's not fake, you're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to internalize it. You know what I mean?
Where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erica, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able.
Base Eddie says, why can't Trump, the leader of the free world, be held to a higher standard? Well, he could be. But the question, that's a tu quoque. Look, I said it properly, you guys. Celebrate. It doesn't matter. Like, the question is, what do you say? What do you say? What he says, what Destiny says on the matter has nothing to do with Trump. It doesn't matter if the standard's higher. It's a useless question. It's like asking, why don't you just ask a random person on a train? Well, what do they think? Why can't we listen to what they think then first? Why don't they say it? It's like, no. That doesn't follow. Charlie Kirk was evil? Well, Massa Saganga, you don't have a definition or standard for evil. Mommy, Sangha. You don't even... This is what's so insane about progressive leftists. They always call people evil, and then in the next sentence they say evil doesn't exist. You gotta be actually retarded to say something like that. Something's evil. Really? Is it objectively evil? No, there's no such thing. Just he's evil the same way licorice is evil.
To be with them again,
Ask why the president is inflaming the situation. That's all poetry. How? What do you mean? How is he? If anything, Donald Trump isn't being fierce enough, in my opinion. He was at a baseball game going like this. Charlie Kirk, amazing speaker. Got his neck open with a bullet. Lots of blood. If anything, Donald Trump is nonchalant from both sides, I think. I think he's just like in his own world. For all we know, we're watching an AI of him do stuff.
More children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them.
How's it poetry? Because you can't tell me what it is, right? What's he inflaming? He's like sidelined, if anything. Honestly, he should be more inflammatory. Like, that's my critique of Trump. He's not inflammatory enough.
It's all gone.
He's in his own world, bro. What are you talking about?
Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie
Trump is milk toast.
Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch."
Shacking the giraffes. Ah, Charlie. Terrible thing.
And now
Never stops me from going to Bigfoot. It's like, okay.
you have people celebrating it, and when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
He's jumping to conclusions without any motive. Trump is? I don't know what you mean.
How are you lying about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Nice, Jack. Here we go.
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god! You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting
Here's-
piece of shit.
What? What?
Holy fuck!
What a
Here's-
pedant.
How does that make him disgusting if he said the wrong bullet? What are you talking about, you freak? See, this is where you know what I mean? Don't ask me what I'm thinking. How about that?
Pedantic. What a pedantic
Are we?
point. What a
Are we
pedantic
even going to do
pedantic.
this?
It's so useless. Okay, you missed, like, oh, big deal. I don't know the 3 branches of government.
You guys are fucking
It's
professional
total
liars.
petty-
petty.
It's
It's
total
total petty.
He's a liar because he misquoted the caliber. Shut up, dude.
Total
This guy
even gonna
probably.
do
fucking-
I would like to let
Jesus.
Jack. I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
You don't want to know what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
and
it's just a
and,
little rant
and they'll
here,
claim there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no there and then go so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the writing on the bullet casings. And so these are very common symbols.
JB Pilter, $5. It's not even a bullet that was fired, as if the shitter had any ideology, variety pack or something. He's just insane. Like, he's like lost it. Like, I'm thinking early onset dementia with this type of guy, and I don't wish that upon anybody, but Destiny's brain is, look at the freeze frame, dude. They're always looking up. The irony is that the atheist, secular scumbag weasel demons, they're always looking up. Why is that? It's weird, bro. Weird. Colin Rock, $5. Things are moving behind the scenes. RICO investigations into Democrat NGOs and the cabinet heads are investigating and firing anyone that celebrated. Good. It's actually support. It's actual expressed support for political terrorism. That's what it is. It's not even like a colloquial sense. It's actual. Destiny is so evil, asked to condemn murder, he dodges. Yeah, weird. Weird take. Well, we hit the second goal, so you guys get to hear one of my favorite things ever. One of my favorite damn things ever. Where is it? Viewer count. Goal. No, hold on. I thought it was here. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, no, I know why. Yeah. Got to celebrate. You got to celebrate. You guys earn it, so I'm going to celebrate. Here we go. Where are you? Where's Dangerous Loaf of Bread with the best thing ever that I've ever seen on the internet? I'll do this one with him, actually. See if I can beat him. 6 monitor. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Go! Oh, hold on. Started late. I think that's as timelessly funny as fart sounds, honestly. Fart jokes.
Associate, whatever. The point is, right, it should be very, very clear. Are we connected with our humanity or are we not? And some people,
They don't have this distinction, Jack. You're dealing with empty vessels who think we evolved from pond scum. There is no such thing as humanity from their view. There is no humanity without God. It's just another fixture of chemistry that expanded from previous chemistry. Molecules in motion, bacteria sludge, collisions of matter. And we're surprised, right? Oh, how can these people think like this? No, they're insane. Destiny's a twisted demonic version of a human. I'm sorry, I don't pray for him. I know that I should, but I can't. I will answer for that when I'm judged. I understand it's tough, Jason. It's tough. I practice that every Sunday. Is somebody like him? Actually, you know what? Now that you say it, Jason, I've never once prayed for Destiny. But there are people in a similar category that I make a point during Divine Liturgy to pray for them by name. But I know it's tough.
people are willing to do that. Anna's been willing to do that. We've done shows together. They've been fine. They've been good. We've jousted. We've done the back and forth. Dustin and I in the past have had shows together where
I don't remember that. Dan Vish is $5. Been into politics, religion since I was 14, almost 41, and nothing has broken my heart as much as this. Seeing relatives spread hate and lies is insane. Oh yeah, I'm lucky to enough to at least be in a family of mildly conservative. Even the liberal in my family would never be as so horrific to be like, yeah, they deserved it because they said things at college campuses.
Before he kind of took this turn, and you think there are people who can just be willing to.
Duck says, I'd never say someone was demonic. Yeah, because you don't have the distinction. You're a walking mass of particles, Duck, from your view. That's not saying much.
To stand up for.
You can't even tell me, by the way, a naturalist, a physicalist, these atheist people, they can't even tell you what a person is, let alone if it's demonic or they're demonic or evil. You can't even say a person exists. You have to say a bunch of wetware exists. The illusion of a person walking around in a skin suit, bro. That's why they're so sick. That's why they can kill babies. That's why you guys are capable of doing what you do. Because there is no sanctity of life. There are no sacraments. Nothing is sacred. You're a bunch of baboons. You think you came from a fish. You believe there's no purpose to your own existence. Get a hold of yourself. You got no place to talk from, Duck. You got no place to speak from. You're an it in motion. You're a blood machine. You're a muscle mechanism. There is no you, bro. You're an it. Zer, they, them.
For humanity.
Jack, it reminds me a bit of the journey I've gone on, very different circumstances, but the Israel-Hamas war. The reason I asked everybody on the pro-Palestinian side for months after the war started, do you condemn what Hamas did, is I think it was very...
Can we see the goal thingy again? Yeah. After you meet one aggressive red goal, you may see the goal again, and I will try it again, in fact.
Very enlightening as to the human...
You haven't touched on metaphysics? Metaphysics don't exist under your worldview, Duck. Okay? Metaphysics doesn't exist under your worldview. It's illusory. There's no such thing.
Humanity of the person.
I've written your father to improve your reading and writing. Okay.
by how they responded. If their immediate response was, of course I do, the mass murder of civilians on October the 7th was a horrendous atrocity, then we can move on to an intellectually honest debate. If they refuse to condemn what Hamas did, it's a completely different debate. And similarly, right now, I feel if you can't condemn a lot of what the IDF are doing, frankly, it's my opinion.
Just because some women kill their babies doesn't mean they can help the people that are already alive. What are you saying? Those are irrelevant. You can do both. You could not kill your baby and help people who are already alive. Whoa!
In Gaza, then the same thing. If you're unequivocally like it's all fine with 20,000 plus kids being killed, then I've got a problem with that too. But I do think you've got to try and maintain in all of these debates a modicum of humanity about people who are actually being killed.
No humanity.
And what is terrifying about the mindset of a lot of people on the woke left I've seen since Charlie Kirk's death is the brazen glee that they're taking to his murder. And then when I see even Destiny, who's a...
Isn't he granting their babies? Of course they are. They know they're killing babies. They know they're killing a person. There's no person. Name one person that didn't start at conception. Name one person, one human being that didn't begin at conception. Can't do it. Jason Cassell, $9.99. Duck said on Sarah's channel yesterday that Kirk was a bully and implied he deserved it. Yeah, Duck is a provocateur. He has nothing philosophically to offer. He's basically like a pseudo performance artist. Like he's not full comedic. You know? Probably slightly unstable unless that's an act too. But, you know, Duck should just be ignored for the most part. He just needs a hug from people he perceives to be his older brothers. You know, it's weird that he's coming at me for a hug because I'm the younger brother archetype.
A very well-followed person on the internet, well-known. When Destiny, frankly, if you can't bring yourself just to say the murder was horrific and should never have happened, it's a very simple sentence. It's just basic humanity. It really makes me despair for where everything is going because it's indicative of the mindset of I can't give an inch to my political opponents, therefore I lose my humanity. How can that be right?
Because you can't give an inch to political opponents that won't recognize or acknowledge anything they've done is wrong. It's
Says the guy who has a view that nothing's wrong. You idiot. You absolute idiot. So, you know, that's, Pierce Morgan isn't the place for philosophy, deep in philosophy. But really, the retort to this is quite easy. Hey, Destiny, I know, you want people on that side to admit they're wrong and this people, Well, don't you hold the view that there's nothing actually wrong with anything? Why are you even on a panel?
it's done is gotten us here. This is where we're at because of that exact mindset. Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband?
Oh, really? Yeah. So someone shot Charlie Kirk because a Republican didn't admit Horton. What? Every time this guy deflects. Well, someone's dead because of the other thing.
And shot the other senator in Minnesota?
Irrelevant.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
that it was a conservative shooter? That it was a conservative shooter?
I don't know the details on that particular case. If I did, and it turned out that it was the...
It doesn't matter, dude. Whoever does it, a conservative side, a Christian side, is going to say it was wrong. Right? So, okay.
And it turned out it was the case. Of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. Thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you. You could easily just say, you could lead by example and say, let's all tone down the violence.
You can't lead by
That's
example.
what you
I'm not
want,
the president
right?
of the United States. That's what
Unbelievable.
Democrats have been doing.
Wait,
for
you
the
can't
last
lead by
decade.
example because you're not the president? That's the stupidest thing I've heard.
Imagine he has a son. Lord have mercy. Destiny has a son. Lord have mercy. Can you imagine telling your son, like, well, I can't correct you until I see Trump's tweet? Daddy, did I do something wrong? Well, I can't answer that question until I see Trump's tweet. He also just told us why he can't give an inch to him right now. Yeah, not one step back. Yeah, don't give him an inch. I mean, he'll get that whenever he wants, though. On the weekends.
One side wants to fight and the other side doesn't, then you're going to fight. One side can't decide not to fight. If the other
That
side
makes no
decided to.
sense.
Wow, his brain, his actual spirit and his brain are rotted.
What does that have
What
to
do you
do
mean
with
it
you?
makes no
You
sense?
can-
If
you
some
can
guy comes up to
easily-
you to
you
fight,
can easily
and the
just
other
say it
side
now,
says, I
Destiny.
don't want to, you don't really have the choice there.
Lead
That's
by
how fighting
example, then.
works.
Lead by
You
example.
can't lead by
and show
example.
us.
That's called dying.
You can.
Actually,
Right
I
now.
thought-
Do it
I
right
actually
now.
thought-
Do it right
I
now.
actually
That's the party
thought.
of
Let me
self-defense.
jump in.
'Cause you're actually happy
Let me
about
jump
it,
in
Destiny.
here.
Just be honest, you're happy
I actually
about it.
felt that Anna hit the nail on the head here, which is she did not
Destiny's son hates him. Yeah, I would hate him too.
need to wait for Donald Trump to comment on this to make her own mind up about what.
Dude, imagine making fun of Trumpers for being like, what do you think about this? And they're all, well, I need to know what my daddy Trump thinks. And then from a left position, you would, rightly so, make fun of them and be like, what are you talking about? You need to know what Donald Trump thinks in order to state your convictions? That would seem insane. And yet the irony is that the leftist who hates Trump is doing it. Weird. This is weird.
What had happened. That is intellectual honesty, right? Yes, it may have been somebody that she totally
Anna's
disagreed
a
with
right-wing
on many
talking
issues.
head. Why- yeah,
the
no, of
simple,
course she can do
humane thing
this.
to do with any event like this is to ask yourself, how do I personally feel about it? Not what does Donald Trump think about it, or what does Joe Biden think about it, or what does Timbuktu think about it? It's what do I personally feel about this? It didn't take me very long, Destiny, to understand that I felt repulsed by the execution of somebody in cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there watching. It's a human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it.
You're there.
At all. I don't understand why you need to wait for him before your own
I don't
humanity
need to wait
kicks
for
in.
anybody. No, you're not asking how we feel about it. You're asking what the public statements should be. And the public statement.
What? Wait a second. Does that show you guys who this guy is, if anything? This is like Hillary Clinton. There's my personal view on things, and then there's the public mechanical view on things. I don't dare mix them together. Dude, why isn't your public statements about things also what you think? I don't understand. What the hell does that mean?
Should
No,
be the
I'm
president
not.
of the United States.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
asking
not.
me for a public statement
I'm
right
asking,
now.
where
You
is
think
your
I'm great watching a
humanity? You
colleague
can't
getting
just
murdered?
say the
Where
murder
is your
was
So insane.
humanity,
wrong.
peers? You guys are playing into this exactly. I think you probably know it. I think Cornell was right about this. You know where your bread is buttered as well. You guys play into this. It's insane to me that the president of the United States can't say, hey, all of us need to be less violent. We all need to calm the fuck down. That the president of the United States can't say this, but you will endlessly scour Twitter and YouTube for leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys disavow the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
You know, Cornel West should have stayed in his seat. We were debating free speech, actually, and whether
You're not debating free
and
speech.
whether
It's not
well, let
even
me
an equivalent
finish. Let me
conversation,
finish,
Piers.
and whether the
It's insane.
overuse of words like Hitler, Nazis, and fascists was actually empowering deranged young minds to think they were battling actual new Hitler, Nazis, and fascists. And actually, when Andrew pointed out to Cornell that he had used the phrase neo-fascist about Trump, that's when Cornell decided he couldn't take part in the debate anymore, when he was reminded of something he had said. He didn't try and deny it. He just said, I don't want to have this debate, and left.
Yep. Totally got shown his own past that he said, and then ironically started acting the way he was accusing everyone else of acting. I mean, then he's left. By the way, that guy should be in like a care home or something at this point.
Piers, how long have you been in the United States, following our politics?
Over 20 years, I've lived and worked in America.
Okay, if you've lived and worked in America, I grew up as a conservative listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck
Yeah.
and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean Hannity. You're going to sit here and pretend like Democrats are the ones that started the name calling? I heard them call Obama and the Clintons
I didn't say
socialists
that.
and communists.
When did I say that?
gosh, this guy just changed. He doesn't care about anything that's true. His mind is mangled. His spirit is sour. It's like talking to an animal.
I'm just saying, why are we pretending that some people...
I'm saying, why did Cornel West...
household?
Why would Cornel West walk out...
That's funny, Andrew. Yeah, he grew up in a Christian household. Now he's a extreme leftist. I thought that, what?
On a debate when we're literally talking about the importance of speech. Makes no sense to me.
If speech is important, then the president should exercise it more cautiously.
So should you.
Republicans...
Unbelievable hypocrite, this guy. He doesn't care. There's no responsibility.
Republicans have been... You can't stop
You've got millions of followers and you think it's fine to show them you're mocking a widow.
You cannot choose for your opponent not to...
Unbelievable.